Ladies and gentlemen of the Action Army, what is going on? And welcome to another episode of Answers for Athletes. In today's video, we have a question from Keanu Lime, who says, can you make a video on programming sprints in your workouts? And then we actually have a ton of other questions that I'm going to answer in this video in regards to sprints, because a lot of athletes have a lot of questions, and I'm just going to compact them all into this one video. So all of you understand that I beat sprints to death. I've made a video talking about my top 7 exercises to increase your vertical jump, and I included sprints. I said that other than max approach jumps, sprints are the number one plyometric that you need to be doing, because there's no exercise exists that you could do to improve your maximum velocity more than sprints. I talk about it in videos on volleyball players, why they need to add sprints. They're doing a ton of max approach jumps, but they need sprints. On basketball players, how basketball remains an acceleration-based game, and you need to add longer distance sprints if you're a basketball player. I've talked a lot about it. I made a video on alternatives to sprints, how you could do sled pulls or sled pushes, how you could do hill sprints, how you could do shorter duration sprints, treadmill sprints, dead mill sprints, curved treadmill sprints. There's a ton of stuff that you could do. If you can't do any of that, then reactive based plyos like drop jumps or pogo jumps or repeated box jumps or, hops, those are going to be good for you. But before I get into all of these questions and all of these answers, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your question down below if you want me to answer your question in a video just like this. And there is a link down below in the pinned comment and the description of this video with access to my advanced training programs. If you would like to take all of the guesswork out of your training and you would like me, a professional strength coach, to program your sets, your reps, your exercises, your regressions and progressions, your phases, your periodization, all of that so that you jump as high as possible, then click that link and check out my programs or my customized vertical jump coaching. But let's get into it. Let's start off with Baldo 5717, who says, is it better to do a separate plyo session, or can I do plyos and sprints together with heavy weights in the same session? And then he also asked another question that said, am I doing it wrong if I do sprints first before my strength work? You said sprints cause high fatigue, but I think so do heavy squats. So I've talked about this in a ton of videos where I talked about whether or not you can add your plyos and your strength work in the same session. 100%, you could do a full plyo session if you want. You could do a full strength session if you want, or you could add them together. And I talked about, mixed training where you could do a warm-up, then you do your speed work, then your power work, then your strength work, then your hypertrophy work. But all that you really need to know is that you should do the most fatiguing things last. So the reason that I said sprints are fatiguing is because they are fatiguing. But strength work is more fatiguing. It's more taxing on the body than your sprints are going to be. So while sprints are fatiguing, I'm not going to do my strength work before my sprints, or my strength work before my plyos, or my strength work before my power, because I can still do plyos and power work and then go hit my strength work. And there's not really, at least for me and the athletes that I train, and probably most of you, there's not going to be that much drop off when you're trying to hit your strength work hard. But if you hit really hard strength work like squats and rear foot elevated and barbell RDLs, and you hit these big compound strength movements, especially when you're lifting heavy, and then you go and you try to do your plyos or your jump session or your sprints, that is going to have a negative effect on your plyos. So sprints are usually the last plyometric that I do before my strength work. And I do combine my plyos and strength work in the same session. So I will do my warm-up, then I normally do max approach jumps and any other plyos that I'm going to do. And then I do sprints as my last plyo. And then I will get into my power work and my strength work. So you are right. Heavy squats are going to be very fatiguing. I wouldn't squat heavy before you sprint. I would sprint before you squat heavy. And there's nothing wrong to do plyos and strength work. There's nothing wrong with doing plyos and strength work in the same session. Just make sure that you do the most fatiguing things last. Next question. We have James Ronaldo, 5 James Ronaldo 6157, who says, do you think doing a full dunk session and sprint session before weight training for lower body is too much? Will I be able to lift as much with my legs? Thanks. So this comes down to personal preference, and it comes down to your capacity to handle jumping. Like a full jump session for some people is a long time, right? So if you do a full jump session, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, some people's jump sessions go to like an hour, then you go try to sprint and do your weights. Of course, you're going to be fatigued, right? For me, I kind of separate it. Like, I don't ever really hit a full jump session. I can't remember the last time that I just went out. Some people like that. Like I said, it's personal preference. I don't really want to go do a full jump session. I like touching on max approach jumps and then hitting sprints and weights or strength work in the same workout. So depending on how long that jump session is, you might feel fatigued for your strength work. For me, I don't hit that many max approach jumps. I warm up, then I hit my max approach jumps. So what I really do is I touch the net 2 times each approach, then I touch the backboard 2 times each approach, then I touch the box on the bottom of the rim 2 times, and then I touch the rim, then I dunk a tennis ball, then I dunk a Nerf football, then I dunk a soccer ball, then I dunk a basketball. Or at least back when I was dunking a basketball. Now I'm fat and you guys are following my journey. But sometimes it might be too fatiguing if you're doing a long jump session and then sprint session. You might want to separate those into different workouts. But if you're doing it like me and you're just touching max approach jumps, then it's 100% not too fatiguing to go hit your sprints and your strength training. What I like to do is use the drop-off principle. Jump until you feel a drop-off in performance, then stop. Sprint until I feel a drop-off in performance, and then stop. And then go hit my strength work. And nothing like some athletes are going to have trouble even with that, with their strength work. I don't. I've never had an issue squatting or doing heavy compounds after I did a jump session or a sprint session until drop-off, unless it is with like tendon pain or knee pain. Then, my squats and my strength session suffers. Next question we have, how long of sprints, like 40 meters or 100 meters? More like 40. There's nothing wrong with 100 and getting up that long of a distance, but I would say 40 meters to 60 meters, that's going to be your sweet spot. Make sure that you can hit top end speed. If you don't have that much, 30 meters is going to be okay. 20, you're getting on the shorter acceleration based side of things. But I would still do them even if you only have 20. But more like 40 to 60 is where I would like you to be. Let's see, next one. The Hebes 100. I over and over hear guys say that you don't get top end speed playing basketball. How? I sprint from end to end multiple times every game I play. I know it's a short sprint, but I absolutely hit my top end speed. And then Splash Basketball commented on that and said, I think you need to sprint for at least 40 meters to reach top end speed. Usually a basketball court is only 28 meters roughly. Even when you sprint in transition, basketball remains an acceleration-based sport. So basketball 100% is an acceleration-based sport. There's normally a bunch of outside factors going on in basketball. So you're doing a chase down, or you're looking at the ball, or you're doing curved runs, which there's nothing wrong with it. But basketball is a ton of acceleration. It's a ton of agility. What I want is, and you probably do, like, you get some top end speed for sure. Especially if, you have good acceleration and you can get to that top end speed quicker than other athletes. But I would like longer distances. Like, I would like that 40 to 60 meters or 40 to 60 yards where you can spend some time. You can spend a couple seconds in top end speed. That is what we're looking for to really improve our velocity. Nothing wrong with basketball, of course. It's going to be great. But I would like longer sprints. You're not wrong, but I would like longer sprints touching on top end speed for longer durations of time. Henry Mullins says, I've been doing dead mill sprints in place of sled pulls. That's great. I still think that you should, like, if you can't sprint, I still think that you should be doing some sort of running or some sort of velocity-based training, like reactive strength plyometrics. I like them, but like they're not gonna do it. It's different. They're not gonna do it. Like, you need to be doing your reactive-based plyos and your velocity-based training. So I really do recommend that you try to hit some sort of running, even if your treadmill doesn't go fast enough. Like at LA Fitness, I think they went up to like 12 miles per hour. I can run faster than 12 miles per hour. Most of you can as well. But like, still hitting the 12 miles, still running on the treadmill, it's going to be better than nothing. Still doing sled pulls or pushes, it's going to be better than nothing. Can you make a video on how to add sprints to your training? Sets, reps, distance, rest time, and whatever else we should know. So rest time is great, because pretty much in all of my programs, with all of my athletes, and with every exercise that we do, I say rest as long as you need to rest to feel as effective as possible on your next set. So it's going to differ between the exercises. Something like seated box jump, right? Which I was just doing the other day. Let me know how you like these training vlogs, by the way, and if I should continue them. Seated box jumps, I take about like 20 to 30 seconds rest. Drop jumps, sometimes I don't even rest, I'll be completely honest. Heavy back squats, I might take 3 minutes on a heavy back squat before I feel good to do that again. Trap bar jumps, like I might take 1 minute and 30 seconds, 2 minutes. But sprints are a little bit different, because I would like a little bit longer rest time on sprints. Sprints are one of those exercises where you can do like a 40-yard sprint, and then you can feel ready to go in 30 seconds, especially if you have good cardiovascular endurance. If you're a basketball player and you spend a lot of time playing basketball, and you could do a sprint, and in 30 seconds, 60 seconds, you could feel ready to go again. But sprints is that one unicorn exercise where I would rest a little bit longer. I would like 2 minutes in between your sprints. 2 minutes in between your sprints. And once you're at your max reps, maybe even like 2 minutes, 30 seconds. But 2 minutes, normally for me, I'm like, all right, come on, bro. I'm ready to go. So that's a good one, rest time. Distance, 40 to 60 yards is best. 20 to 30, whatever you have is good. You need, like, guys, please do whatever you can do. Whatever sort of running you can do it. It will make a difference. Let's see what else. Sets and reps. So I like doing sprints until drop off, which if you're following my training vlogs, which I'm starting to post, you'll see how I do that. I have a timing system, which I'm not expecting you guys to have a timing system, but I sprint and I sprint and I sprint. And as long as my time is improving, I continue to sprint. As soon as I see like, my time was worse that rep. It was worse again. I stop. I see a drop off in performance. I stop. You could still be intuitive and sprint until you feel a drop off in performance without a timing system. That's what I used to do before I had it. But I would say anywhere between 3 to 8 reps of sprints, or 3 to 8 sets, reps. It's kind of the same thing on sprints. So 3 to 8 sprints, max intensity, warm up with your sub-maximal sprints, and then get into your max sprints. Depending on how you feel that day, 3 to 8 max sprints is going to be great. Sets, reps, distance, rest time, whatever else we should know. All right. Free at Last says, in regards to the treadmill, would you do 6-second all-out sprints for 6 to 10 sets? Thanks again for the information. 6-second all-out sprints. Yeah, that's going to be great. 6 seconds is good. So for most of us watching this video, we're going to be in the 5s when it comes to a 40-yard dash. We'll be in the 5s. For some of you out there who are faster than me, you're going to be in the 4s. I don't know how fast you guys run. Some people might be in the 6s. Some older athletes, some overweight athletes might be in the 6s, and they're trying to get to the 5s. Some of us are in the 5s. I just got 4 today. You'll see it tomorrow. I'm fat, so this is in no way a good time, but I think I got like 4.95 seconds for a 40-yard dash. I'm fat, guys. Come on. I'm losing weight. I'm working my way up. But on a treadmill, it's going to be, if you can run your max speed, like you're not going to be able to run your max speed. It's very difficult to run your max speed on a treadmill. But since you're going to be running slightly slower, the time should be slightly longer. So 6 seconds, maybe even 7-second sprints are going to be great on a treadmill for sets of 6 to 10. Yeah, that's going to be good. 10 is kind of a lot. If you're doing it for fat loss, like HIIT cardio, 10 is great. But if you're really doing it for performance outcomes, I think 6 is going to be okay. But yeah, do it based on how you feel. 6 to 10 is going to be good. More towards 6 in my opinion, but once again, be intuitive about how your body feels. That's all the questions that I have on sprints. So let me know, like, did I answer the question in this video, how to program sprints? So just very generally, how I would program sprints for you is I would do them 2 times per week if you can. 3 is kind of a lot. 1 I don't think is enough. 2 times is really that sweet spot. For me, I do them on Monday and Friday. I would program your sprints. If you want to do a full plyo session, go ahead and do that. If you want to add them as mixed training in with your weights, then go ahead and do that. But 2 times a week, sprinting for 30, I'll say 30 to 60 yards. 40 to 60 is better. For me, like, I only have 40 yards, and then I'm running into the wall in my gym. Could do them outside, but I don't. 2 times a week, 30 to 60 yards, 3 to 8 sets of max sprints. Do sub-maximal until you hit your max sprints, 3 to 8 sets. You're going to be good. I think that's where most of us should stay. Continue to try to PR. You can get a partner. Try to, stagger your starts and then tag your partner. Try to race your partner. Try to make it competitive. Like, there's certain things that you could do to make sure that you are being competitive, sprinting as fast as possible, progressive overloading, forcing your system to adapt. So, yeah. Let me know if you have any other questions surrounding the topics of sprints, the topic of sprints, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Like this video if you like it, subscribe to the channel, and click that link down below in the description and pin comment and get one of my programs. I will take you to the next level, and I am there to coach you every step of the way. I'm in the app every single day, answering questions, comments, checking up on your progress, etc. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.